Well, welcome back to Hidden Gems Podcast. And with me, we have the most beautiful Nia Nicolette. And so, obviously, most people that are watching this know who you are. But do they really know who you are?
I'm not sure.
Well, we're going to get to know you a little bit better. Obviously, you were born into the church, so I can't ask you how long, unless you want me to ask your age.
No, that's okay.
Oh, okay. Tell me a little bit about, first of all, I know that you're adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that experience of being adopted into, if you want to, into an American family. From, where are you from?
China.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from the southern part.
Okay.
Hangzhou.
Okay.
Is how you say it. But yeah, I think my parents did a really good job.
Yeah.
On raising me.
So you were the youngest of how many siblings were in the Nicolette household while you were raised?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fun. So me and my sister are 11 years apart, and then I have 2 brothers, and then me and Jer are 16 years apart. And Josh, it's somewhere in between.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think the first time I met you, I think we were out here. I had come out here. I don't remember if you were with Daryl and Lynn when Jer and Christy first met. You were very young. I can't actually even remember. So the kids, Christy and Jer, have been married for close to 20 years now. So, and you said he's 16 years older than you. So I don't want people to do the math. I don't want people to know how young you are.
Oh, that's okay. I'm 26.
Oh, okay. Okay, so when I first saw you, though, you were very young, maybe 4 or 5, I'm going to guess. If you're 26, yeah, you might have been maybe 5. But you were always such a happy child. I mean, I don't know that I ever saw you in a down moment or a bad moment, but I know you had to have had them.
Oh. More in my teen years.
Okay.
But I would say I was a pretty happy kid.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was a rebellious kid.
No, Mia, beautiful Mia, no.
My parents talk about it sometimes. But there was this game I really wanted in the upstairs closet, and no one would get it for me. I guess they were all busy. That's the way I perceived it. Everyone else was doing their own thing. So I took one of the big chairs at the end of the dinner table, and I lugged it up my parents' house. So I don't know how many stairs that is, but there are a lot.
And it's pretty good steep, a good grade.
But I got the game, and I was not injured, so I guess determined.
Yeah. Determined is what I would probably say. And so you were a teenager at the time, or were you younger?
I was little. So when I was older, I started being, testing my limits a little bit more.
I think every teenager goes through that at some point in their life. What was it like for you? Okay, you're obviously adopted into the family, so you didn't even probably realize that you were adopted.
No, I think Daryl and Lynn, they really did a good job saying, oh, well, you're adopted and you're from China, and that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a really good job with that.
Yeah. And your siblings all took you in like you were born into the family anyway, so you got along well with all of them. I know you and Jer are pretty close and grew up that way with him. Mm-hmm. He's very good with his own daughters, so it doesn't surprise me that he is or was even with you when you were younger. What was it like to be in a senior pastor's home, and how did that feel, coming to church all the time, knowing that your parents were the leaders of the church, and then you go through your rebellious teen years? And if you prefer not to talk about it, that's fine too.
It was more like, oh, I'm gonna wear not what my mom picked out for me.
Okay.
Or,
okay.
I don't know. I think we had a really good youth group back then.
You did.
And I had a lot of friends that came here. So I think that made it really easy, a lot easier.
Who was the youth leader at that time?
Donna and Randy.
Donna and Randy. I don't know.
Donna and Randy Williams, Zach's parents.
Oh, okay.
And then Serena and Dan.
Oh, okay. So that's. I've heard. I think it was Kendra telling me that Serena and Dan really impacted her when they were leading the youth. So, yeah. So you had a lot of good friends.
I think being my pastor's kid. I feel like my parents did a really good job of keeping it separate.
Okay.
And if I brought one to the other, then it would be addressed.
Okay.
I don't think my parents just always stressed to be a good person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're like, just be kind. You know? I think that's really what they wanted.
Yeah. Well, they did a great job.
Oh,
all you kids are, you're very loving, respectful, and accepting of people. That's beautiful. Yeah. So I agree. They did a great job. But as a teenager, I'm curious, one of my really close friends when I was growing up was a PK. And he hated it. He hated it because he felt like he had to be perfect, and he knew he wasn't. And so I can't even imagine the pressure that must put on some kids. Your case is probably a little bit different because your family, your parents created even a family feel here in the church. So it probably feels like an extended family to you, I would imagine. And so, but I agree with you, they did an exceptional job. What did it feel like when you moved away from the family and you went into the Navy, right? The Navy. And I hear that you didn't really particularly like it.
That is not how princesses live. That is what I told my chief. She said, "Why are you getting out?" I said, "This is not how princesses live." It was very strenuous to be a certain way.
Yeah.
And I think looking back on it, I was very frustrated. But when I look at it now, it's completely different. So I'm not sure if I can really give you a struggling teenager's insight, but it did frustrate me, and I did move out at 19, and I moved into Boston. I don't know why I did that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I moved back home, and then I enlisted, and I told my parents. I said, "Hi, I was wondering if I could, well, at first I was like, can I move back in with you guys?" And then I was like, "Oh, I need to talk to you guys." And I was like, "Well, I just enlisted into the Navy for 5 years. Well, I thought it was 4, and then I didn't accidentally. It was like an extension, so 5 years total. But I guess I wanted something different. I wanted to know something different outside of my bubble."
Oh, that's good.
Because Dale and Lynn, they did such a good job, and teenagers struggle.
Yep.
And I'm not particularly proud.
Yeah. We all have our teenage stories. So
yeah, but I don't think anything crazy.
Yeah.
there was pressure, but I feel like I also had like a lot of support, you know, because I had my friends at church. I was going through high school, and oh gosh. Oh God.
Did you go to public school?
I did.
Okay.
And then, yeah, it was weird saying, yeah, I'm a pastor's kid. But also, I told boys, I said, my dad doesn't let me date.
Okay.
And so they just wanted to date me even more.
So, well, who would? I mean, come on.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously.
I don't know. Like, sometimes I felt like it was weird, like, to be a pastor's kid. Like, I wasn't sure how socially acceptable it was.
Oh, in school?
Yeah, everyone had, oh, my dad's a firefighter.
Okay.
Like, my dad's this. I'm like, oh, yeah, my dad is a pastor. And they're like, oh, so a priest? I'm like, no, we're not talking about the Pope. You know? So sometimes I did feel a little bit awkward, but now, I mean, my dad's like superhero, basically.
Yeah.
So.
You bring up a really good point about high school, because school is about to start here. I don't know when this is going to be released, but right now we're in the beginning stages of August, so it's going to be in a few weeks. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give the young people? I mean, you look like you could still be in high school. Let's just be real.
Oh, I thought about subbing at the girls' school.
Oh, okay. So I just got to tell you, my granddaughters, they absolutely adore Auntie Mia. And you are so good with them, all three of them. And then I know you have more with Hannah and with Josh.
Yeah.
But you really do. You have a really good inspirational message to the girls, and they just absolutely love hanging out with you. What would you share with other young people that are about to start back to public school?
When I have kids, I don't think they'll necessarily agree with everything I say. I don't think the girls will. There's a reason why I don't have teenage kids right now.
Because what would you do?
Under a lot of stress, I don't know. But from my point of view right now, as an aunt, be self-aware. Know what makes you happy and what doesn't. Like, if you hang out with someone and they make you feel completely awful about yourself, why would you want to spend time with them? Because they're popular? Oh, please.
Wow. That's good.
But it's true. When you are that young and your hormones are raging and everything is about you, that is your world. You don't know anything different. You're going through adolescence. Your hormones, you're growing hair, you have armpit hair, you're like, you know, like everything is changing so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always tell the girls, I can never put myself in your shoes, but I can support you.
Yeah, it's good.
In making good decisions that are not detrimental to yourself or others.
Yeah. You were sitting next to me, I think it was last Thanksgiving? I don't know. It was a family gathering, and we were all sitting around eating, and we sat next to each other. And you started asking some really good questions. Kaylin comes up and sits down, and Kaylin's 19. And you started asking some questions. What was the reasoning behind that?
Oh, it's so wild. So I don't know if anyone on the younger scale, like younger 20s, mid 20s, whatever. I don't know. I think we are all at different learning points in different aspects of our life, and that's why connecting with people is so important. But that being said, it's crazy when you start looking at people that are older than you, and wow, they actually really do know what they're talking about. And I think, especially when you're an adolescent, like you're like, oh, bad things will never happen to me. Never. They don't know what they're talking about. They're old. Yeah, a lot wiser than you, young buck. A lot wiser than me. And I think it's important to start being aware of that. And also, it's like it's a give and take. It's, when you have strong women like yourself in a community, you want to share. But there are limits with teenagers. There's limits with everyone. Everyone has different limits. But having that relationship and start building that relationship early between adults and younger kids, I think is so important. Because everyone has their own story. So it's kind of like, you may not think about it, but one day you will.
Yeah.
One day you will. You'll be driving and you'll be like, oh, Mama Sheri said this. So when you start doing that, I think I want to personally know, and I think it's important for the girls to listen, even though they may not hear it. It plants little seeds that start growing, I think. Yeah. And I think it gives, I'm not saying you're old.
Yes, she is.
But I think,
because I am.
You're awesome. But all I'm saying is, like, it also gives people the opportunity to reflect on themselves too. And be like, wow, this was something. Like, when the girls ask me, like, some really hard questions. And, like, we're not talking, like, what do you do if your tampon is leaking or something? We're talking, like, I'm like, I don't know. But then, I always say God has a sense of humor. Because something similar will happen down the line where I needed to know that tool that I gave to someone else.
Yeah, that's good.
So, like, when you're teaching, you become more of a master of yourself. So if I teach you something, like how to knit, and then say you get thrown into this ministry of knitting women, you can pull that out and you're like, oh, I'm familiar with this,
Which I don't like to knit. Don't teach me how to knit.
Okay, well, but I think it just gives you, like, I don't know, and I think it just makes a bond, a respect too. And, like, when you start realizing, when you start perceiving people as teachers instead of anything else, like, if you start looking at them and be like, okay, what can I learn from you? That's and you really have, like, an open heart about it, you really can learn so much. That's like, living with my parents has been the best thing for me.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. I come home, I tell them everything about my day.
That's beautiful.
Sometimes they don't get the response I want. And sometimes they are busy. They do have lives. But, like, the positivity that they pour into me and, like, the perspective that they share and being able to be receptive to that even is like, oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So what is your favorite pastime? What do you do? I mean, I know you're going to school.
Yeah.
To what?
I'm going to school to be a nurse.
To be a nurse. You're going to be a nurse. That's beautiful. You're going to help people.
Yeah.
You're going to give them shots and draw blood. You like that kind of stuff?
Well, it just dawned on me that some of the things I can't handle, and sometimes I do pass out.
What? Really?
And some things that they don't bother me. I really thought changing a person's, like, bowel movement would bother me. I actually would stand extra close to my dog's bowel movement so I could get used to it. I would like to say that Jared and Josh really helped me out with that.
Did they?
Yeah. So being able to handle disgusting
bodily functions.
Yeah, body functions. Yeah, I really have to say I love you guys for that.
I have 2 older brothers. I get it.
My favorite pastimes. I'm very particular in my time.
Okay. So do you knit?
I do.
You do?
I crochet.
You crochet, okay.
Yeah, once in a while I'll pick up the needles. For right now, school is basically
all consuming, I would imagine.
Very consuming.
Yeah.
But listening to people and being like, oh no, this might not feel good now, but it'll feel good later. I do hot Pilates and hot yoga.
Okay.
I did not think I would like it. It's actually been a really good tool for me.
Yeah.
So figuring out what works for me has been probably one of my pastimes.
Okay. That's good.
I love spending time with the girls.
Yeah.
They're so funny.
They kind of keep you young and on your toes.
Yes, and they tell me what words you said then that mean different things now, which is really important.
Okay. Yes.
What else? I hang out with my dog a lot.
You love your dog. He's a great little guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thor is.
Yeah. Kind of, he's a Shih Tzu? Shih Tzu? Sorry, I'm trying to be careful about how I say
Mama, Sheri! He's a sheepoo.
A sheepoo. I'm so sorry.
No.
I didn't mean to demean Thor.
Oh, you can't demean him. He's a god offender. Well, no, in respect to this big guy. And Elvis, but.
She thinks that looks like Elvis. What do you guys think? Does that look like Elvis? Huh.
Yeah, this
hanging out with Thor.
I like to go on my walk.
You are a walker.
I am a walker.
Okay.
That is because if I don't walk Thor, well, it's gonna be a rough day. I like spending time with my mom.
Yeah.
Like just like listening to her.
Yeah. You got a great mom.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy like sitting down for dinner. Sometimes I'm like, where's everybody? Because in the morning, I am a morning person. But seeing my dad's face in the morning, it makes me happy.
But he doesn't want you to talk to him.
He doesn't ignore me.
Until he's had his first cup of coffee, right?
No, he'll usually come over and just go.
Oh, you have a great dad. Your mom and dad love you.
I'm happy they do. Because sometimes I will get a... Okay! But at dinner time, it's usually... I like to sit down with them. Not all the time, but at least like a few times during the week, I like to sit down with them and help clean, do the dishes.
Yeah.
I haven't been cooking a lot.
Oh, you don't cook?
I do, but I have not really a lot of time for that.
Oh, yeah.
So I love when I come home and they left out food for me. And my mom left out her salad. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of food? Chinese food?
Well, being in the Navy, I'm not picky.
Oh, you're not?
Oh, gosh, no.
What kind of food? Did they serve these little rations that were like powdered and you added water to flavor them?
So we had powdered eggs.
Oh, that can't be good.
We have this thing called monkey meat. We're not sure what it is. But it is something with a bunch of barbecue sauce and it's super good. There have been so many times where I think my food is talking to me, or something that's supposed to be dairy is jiggling, or I would go to Costco before our underways. I would get these big stacks of ramen, mac and cheese, and I would haul them on the boat. And it looked a little funky. I did not care. Oh my god.
Did you share with any of your bunkmates?
Oh yeah, I shared with my guys all the time. They say, "Oh, Nicolette, I didn't eat." And I go, "Okay."
What was it like for a female to be in? I've heard different stories to be in military. Did you notice? Was it good? Was it meh? Did you notice what was it like to be a female in the military?
So growing up, I always kind of had like a hot head. I always had a temper.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah. I was not always calm, cool, and collected.
Okay.
So the military checked me on that. I don't like how people view females in the military. I don't like how females portray themselves in the military. And I think it's all give and take, and you are who you are at the end of the day. And if you can fall asleep to yourself, then so be it.
Wow.
But that's not going to change how I'm going to act.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You know, it's hard to make a name for yourself as a female. Feel like, oh, what, you on your period? Yeah, and you could not survive one if you tried. You were having appendicitis. Yeah, please, okay, go take a Tylenol. Like, there's some things where I wish, I don't like the way I've been talked to.
Yeah.
But I know that that's not okay. And I'm sorry that you feel like you have to talk to me about that. Some people were terrified by me. Other people didn't take me seriously.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like,
yeah.
But I always tried to instill in like other females never to feel your emotions are not dependent on someone else's actions. You know? And I've had some pretty like nasty things said to me.
Your emotions, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Your emotions are not dependent on someone else's actions.
Or words, or anything, or how they move, their energy.
So, like, how, again, going back to being raised in a pastor's home, you were taught some tools that I'm sure helped you when you got into an environment that was, I don't know that it's anti-God, but it isn't certainly celebrating.
Oh no, my bubble popped. I couldn't march. I'm very dyslexic, so I didn't go to church because I had to march. So that kept me from going to church in boot camp. And then when we got into the military, I didn't go to church at all.
Wow. Yeah.
And
you didn't go to church, but what was your relationship like with the Lord? Did you have to go internal with that? Did you meet people that shared some of the same beliefs, or how did that work for you? Because you're obviously here. You love the Lord, or do you? Do you know who Jesus is? Have you accepted him in that?
I have.
How did you manage that? Because, and here's the reason why I'm asking that question. You know, the word does say, don't forsake yourselves, assembling yourselves together. I have some views on that. So people say, well, you have to go to church to have that fellowship. You didn't go to church for 5 years.
Barely. Maybe once a year.
But you're here, and I'm assuming you're not forced to be here, so I'm assuming you love being here.
Oh, I love it.
What would you say would help people that are grappling with coming back to church since COVID, let's say? I've noticed every church that I've gone to, you know, it just changes because people will watch online and they don't necessarily want to become a part of any group. They want to be kind of left alone. You felt that in the military for 5 years, being raised in a pastor's home, then your bubble bursts and you're here, and now you're back.
Yeah.
What would you say the advantages of being a part of a community such as Faith Worship Center is for your walk with the Lord? Is it helpful?
Yeah, it was the only thing I could do.
Wow.
When I got out, I came home and I didn't really have a relationship with God in the military.
Wow.
But the things that my parents instilled in me, like, don't be a jerk. You know, be kind.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, I couldn't see it.
Wow.
But, so I read something recently. It says, your mind is not built for success, it's built for survival. I needed God then. Looking back on it, oh gosh, he was there. But I didn't know he was there.
Interesting.
So when I came home, it was really, I didn't really leave the house much. Except for to go to church, because that's what you did on Sundays. You go to church.
Yeah.
I think it was my subconscious. I don't know what to say for people who are grappling, because everyone's different. But at the end of the day, you know what's good for you and you know what's bad for you. And you know what benefits you and what doesn't benefit you. I really struggle with like online schooling.
Okay.
I'm not receptive. I'm not going to be receptive listening to online teachings.
That's a good point.
You know?
It's like you have to be in the building, so to speak, because Elvis has left the building.
Yeah, no. And then I really think it was my subconscious. I really needed him.
Yeah.
So, and I never felt bad about after I left. Like, you know, you'll go into like a bar, or you'll go in somewhere, or you'll go into an environment and you're just like, I do not like this. You know?
You can feel it.
You can feel it. I never felt that here. Ever. I've never felt that in my life. And it's like, so your body starts going back. Well, I feel like my body was going back to when I was younger. I was like, oh, well, this is like your home. So it's like, I'm not really going to church, I'm just going home.
Wow, I'm not really going to church, I'm going home.
Yeah, but...
Wow. That's really cool.
Like, I make promises to myself every single week, and I have my non-negotiables. And yeah, you know, I get sick, you know, I won't go to church. I don't want to get other people sick.
Sure.
But no, it is in my schedule. Every single week I go to church. That is the promise I make. That's how I want to start my week. That's how I want to end my week. I think when you come to church and you're like, okay, hey big guy, this is what I dealt with this week. It's really crappy and I'm not owning it anymore, so I'm bringing it to you. So it's kind of hard when people are grappling with going to, I'm not going to see what they see. I'm not going to understand what they understand. But just, I think bringing it back to basics, like, do you ever feel crappy leaving this place? No. Okay, so then why would you not go? Things that help you grow, you are nervous to go do.
Come on.
And you feel better when you're done. Every single time. That's how it was with clinicals. That's how it's been with every positive thing in my life. And it's like, well, I don't want to wake up. I don't want to wake up early and go to church today. I don't want to get myself ready. Oh, well, you don't really have an option, Mia Grace. Because this is the promise you made to yourself. So for people that are struggling, do you want to make that a priority in your life? And why are you making it a priority? For me, it makes me feel good. It's just that simple. It's not rocket science to me. But yours may be different. And that is so okay. But this community that you've helped build, my parents have built, Jared and Christy, Serena and Dan, like everybody, it's amazing. And why wouldn't you want to surround yourself
with amazing people?
Yeah, and you learn from them. And Joyce, you don't know her, you better go up to her and give her the biggest hug ever.
I'm trying to get Joyce on here, and she's yet to say yes. She's a gem. She's a true gem.
Oh, I've listened to her story. That is... If I can help you in any way, I will.
I wish you would. Joyce, if you're watching, we want to hear from you.
I know you're watching. That woman is... Oh my gosh. She chose faith.
Yeah.
I had to have...
You were born into faith.
Yeah, I was born into faith, and when I felt like I lost it, it was still there.
Yeah.
And like people they still were like, oh, you're so kind, or you have like a lot of patience. And yeah, did my vein come out? And was I screaming? And was I yelling? And probably things that you guys will never see. And some things I'm not proud of.
I don't want to see it. I might.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
please
I'm
don't.
sorry.
But, like, it didn't seem like it, but I always fought with good intentions and love. And yeah, some was love for myself and some was love for other people. But how do I put this?
You were exemplifying God, because God is love.
Yeah.
But what I love so much about even sitting here and talking with you, Mia, is hearing your experience from growing up in a pastor's home to finding your own journey outside of the bubble, and here you are back again, because the word does tell us that if you train up a child in the way that he should go, when he's older, he won't depart from it. And a part of your story is that the fact that you were raised by such loving parents and such loving siblings didn't make you feel like you were an outsider, even though they told you you were adopted, but we chose you and you're from China. You literally were grafted in because of the love that your mom and dad showed you and the rest of your siblings showed you, to the point where it began when you started your own journey, which you're still on, because you're only 26. You're just a pup.
Oh, yeah.
Life is just starting. But the reality of it is that even when you go through a tough time, you go back to that love, that root of what you were shown, because you were chosen out of all of the kids they could have chosen. They chose you. And that's the love of the Father. And I think you're a beautiful example. And I go back to, again, when I first met you, you were always upbeat. You were always smiling. Obviously, I didn't raise you, but I know that kids can be challenging. But what I will say is that now that you're telling your story, and now that you're living that life of your own, that scripture is true in Psalms that talks, or it might be in Proverbs, I don't know the exact address, but it is so true that when you are raised in love, you begin to operate out of that, even when you're not in the environment, when you're in a place that's hostile, like the military. You were taught certain ways to live, even if you didn't accept it as a teenager or as younger. You did eventually go back to what you were taught, because you're still living that, and you're still back here, because you are loved, and because you know how to love. And so I just want to encourage those of you that are watching, whether you were raised in a Christian home or not, you're going to have your own journey. And just as we've heard Mia Grace, I love that middle name. There's a lot of grace that the Lord extends over all of us. And He literally takes us in His arms when we don't want it. And you're a beautiful example of that, Mia. And people, I'm a people watcher, and I've watched how you interact with people, even on a Sunday, and they're just so drawn to you because of your love, and that you exude God, who is love, and you show that in your attributes of loving other people and doing that well. You can see we have so many hidden gems here at Faith Worship Center that don't always get a chance to express themselves, but we're gonna have you back again, and because there's so much, Mia, to you that you actually do have to offer. Particularly, I would say, young people, because I've witnessed that with my own granddaughters, and how you're just as a kid as they are. You just have more wisdom and experience underneath your belt, and they do listen to you. She can get pretty firm with them.
Yeah, starting to get a little wishy-washy now.
Oh.
Yeah, but no, I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is, and so are all of us, because of her and because of who you are, Mia. You are an addition to this family that is lacking when you're not here. So thank you for being you. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you were blessed by Mia's testimony and her insight. And if you're a young person, you better watch out. She might just come up and slap you. What are you back talking you? No, I'm totally kidding.
Oh, we won't do that. Don't call the cops on me. I don't want to do that.
Thank you again for joining us. Have a great week, and we'll see you on the next episode of Hidden Gems. See you later.